Welcome back to Red Road Paranormal, everyone. Glad you're here. I don't know, Rez, how are you doing today, buddy? I know it's been a rough day,
Rough.
right? Yeah,
The head's been
yeah.
pounding all day, but I'm here. The show must go on.
There you
So,
go. There you go. Nice bright light in your face for the headache.
yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't think I'd come over that well if I left the lights off, so
yeah. You might come off kind of a Sasquatchy or something.
that won't be the first time.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be a bad thing either. So, would you like to introduce our guest to us today?
Yes, we have Mr. Shawn Ellis and Miss Gwen Johns.
Mm.
So, I actually didn't realize it. We met Mr. Shawn last year at Broadhead.
Yeah,
I actually just recognized him and met him on one of the podcasts I was doing for Rockdown. The Paranormal Rockdown with Jamie
Paranormal
Lynn.
Rocktown. Yeah.
Yeah. So I figured I'd snatch him up and bring him on the show and talk to him.
Awesome. Awesome. And then we have Gwen, who is a producer for All Access Television and a podcast host for Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal. I'll spit it out yet. And then you all are starting a show together on
Mhm.
March 27th, the Paranormal Surge show.
Yes.
Yep.
Awesome. What can you tell us about that? What is the premise of that
Yeah.
show?
Go ahead, Gwen.
Well, it came about. We had I'm always co-hosting his shows, and he helps with the network. He's my backup, which always needed, as you guys know. And
Yeah.
we said, hey, we should do a show together. And I'm like, okay. So we decided that since I'll be going, and so will he be going to some of the Paracons because it's Paracon season,
Mhm.
Yeah.
that we would get together and promote the ones that we're going to, and get the guests to come on. And I'm well into setting those up. So we've got
Awesome.
guests. Yeah. So you know how that is getting them, but I've already got 4. So we're good. And more will be popping in every day.
Excellent.
Nice. Kind of sounds a
Excellent.
little familiar, Christina.
Yeah, a little bit.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're always setting up guests, and then, just because everybody's schedule is so wonky these days,
Yeah.
everybody has a different schedule and we're all trying to fit it in. And so, yeah, it gets interesting.
Well, I produce like 5, 6, 7, 8 shows. And so the joke is I run around with my hair on fire at Mach 3. So
Oh,
Oh,
most
well,
definitely.
yeah.
I've been producing 3 shows. I can't imagine trying to carry 8.
Well, a couple of them are just getting started like ours, but it's still,
Yeah.
it's kind of busy. And then, I
Yeah.
co-host on Monday nights, serial killers, supernatural, and murderers. And with, yeah, I don't know if you guys know them, Blaine Rohan, Letriana Brown,
Yep.
and Thomas Patrick Gormley.
Okay.
Okay.
And yeah, we're going to be at the Connecticut Paracon in July with him. So some of those
Cool.
guests, and yeah,
Nice.
and then I'll be at the one Ozark, Alabama,
Okay.
and I'm hoping Shawn can get down here for some. He actually is going to come to my powwow on May 3rd, so that'll be
Awesome.
interesting. Yeah,
Oh, yeah. What tribe?
it's the Eastern. Oh Lord, it's so long. Let me look it up so I can say it respectfully right. I'll have to tell you in a second. I always forget how to say it. Um, Eastern Cherokee, Southern Iroquois, and United Nations of South
Okay.
Carolina. There, it's long. We're
It
not
is
a
long. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not a big one. We don't have our own land yet, so we're
Hmm.
doing it at Hey Good Meal, actually, and right
Nice.
near Brandon Cooper. Hey, Brandon, if you're
Yep.
watching. And Brandon and his wonderful, beautiful wife Anna should be there, hopefully. So that'll be cool too.
Great.
Well, rumor has it he's going to
Mhm.
be up here in August for our veterans powwow right down
Yes.
the road from me.
Oh wow. I hope so.
Yeah.
Cool.
I hope so. Brandon's a good
Yeah,
guy. So,
he
all right,
Yeah.
is.
Sean, I have talked to them their ears off. So you go now.
And you're up now, Sean. Tag, you're it.
I always like giving Gwen a little bit of the spotlight because she's always behind the scenes sometimes. So it's always good to get her out front.
right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You got to stand center stage once in a while.
Nah, I
Yep.
do.
Someone used to complain to me that I was too much in the back scenes.
See,
I don't
you
know who that is.
understand. Yeah.
You got to give her credit where credit's due because she does a lot of hard work for all the shows and stuff,
Yeah,
and I help her
absolutely.
do the
Thank you.
backup for it as well. So yeah,
Yes.
Excellent.
most definitely.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely looking forward to starting our new show tomorrow. So that's going to be interesting as well.
Yes.
So
It's going to be
Cool.
great.
Yeah. That sounds like sounds like what I'm going to tune into.
Please do. Please. And
Yeah.
all your viewers tune in. We're not competing. We like to support
Right.
everybody.
Right.
All of
Exactly.
us
I'm
do.
always looking for
Exactly.
a new show.
There you go.
Send
yeah,
me a link for the first one. I'll tune
I,
in
yes, we will. And you'll absolutely have to come on.
anytime.
Get you booked in.
Yeah.
That'll be awesome.
Absolutely.
Here I go.
Yep.
Taking over again. Go ahead, Shawn. I'm sorry.
you're good. You're good. Like I said, you're always in the background, so it's good to let you have time up front. So
Thank you.
let everybody know. And like I said, I have her come and help me on my show, Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal. It's on Sundays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Mm-hmm.
And I have everybody come on that I look up for a guest. And some of the little people that nobody knows about, some of the bigger people has been on. I've had movie producers and actors on my shows so far, and it's been really cool. I've met a lot of great people so far, and we actually was talking with Jamie Lynn and was talking about the Paranormal Rockdown. So now we're doing ads for them every show on our shows until the July date that they're going to have it. And then hopefully when Gwen gets done in Connecticut, when she's up there at that Paracon, she's going to come and visit with me, and we're going to head down to the Rockdown.
Yes.
So we'll definitely be in the crowd at the Rockdown when that happens for sure.
I'll
Well,
be there
I'm sorry, what date is the Connecticut show?
It is the 11th and 12th, I believe, of July.
weekend
Yeah.
before.
It's
Yeah.
exactly.
Before.
So I can pop from Connecticut to Galesburg, and then hopefully we'll get together. That's my goal.
Awesome. It'd be great to see you there because I will be a Paranormal Rockdown as well.
Yay!
So, yeah.
Rez, you coming?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he'll be there
I'll
too.
be vending and I'll be leading some of the investigations
Oh,
that's going
wow.
on.
Cool.
Yep.
Well, you have to grab us up.
I'll be helping with investigations, vending, and speaking. So,
Yay.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that'd be good.
Broadhead's definitely a very cool place to do investigations at. I've
Oh,
done at
yeah.
least three or four there already, and it's
Mm-hmm.
pretty awesome.
Same.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
place that I hold dear in my heart because Bill and Ron are the most dear people. They are just so
Oh yeah,
wonderful. Yeah.
most
Love them
definitely.
guys to death.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bill's awesome. I mean, he's a great guy. He likes when people come and etc. And he doesn't put up with a lot of drama either, and that's the great thing about it. So
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't want anybody there with drama, and there's a
Yeah.
lot of interesting stuff there at Broadhead for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
the very first time I even investigated at Broadhead, it was the night Eternal Paranormal had their first open house, and I come down there to help support those guys because I'm friends with them. And Bill was giving us a tour of the place, and we got down by the boiler room, and I seen somebody walk up the steps and go right, and the dog followed him. And I'm looking around, I was like, okay, why is everybody just standing here? So then I walk up the steps and I take a right. The person's gone, the doors are locked, and the dog's sitting there. And Bill
Down
said,
for you.
Yep.
I must have seen the janitor. And I was like, wow, that was kind of cool.
Yeah. It's a pretty cool place.
Have you guys seen the janitor too?
I haven't seen him. I've felt him,
And
and
I've
I've
heard him.
also felt his displeasure in someone that was in the room.
No.
I kind of got stuck in the middle between them,
Oh,
so I got to be the voice.
okay.
Yeah. He typically doesn't like women. So,
Oh,
yeah. So he can get kind of verbal about it. So,
well.
yeah.
I've
Okay.
slept in the principal's office, which was a unique experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The janitor's closet down by the boiler room, we actually got EVPs of the principal and some kids talking in
Hmm.
there. That was actually kind of cool when we got those when me and my
Yeah.
team was down there.
Yeah, you can definitely get a lot of EVPs in that place, especially of kids everywhere. Yeah. And the thing is that there's no record of anyone dying in the building.
Hmm.
So the kids that are there because they liked it there. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
if they died when they were kids for whatever reason, what was it that the pandemic that was like in the early 1900s, Spanish flu or something, and
There was a Spanish
mm-hmm.
flu. Yeah.
yeah, and apparently a lot of people in the area died from that, and so yeah, the kids who died, or some of them were killed in farming accidents, some of them, early 1900s, life was rough,
Yeah.
and but they like it there. They like coming back. I feel like they're not there all the time. I feel like they come back when there's people to visit.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How about the I want to say the table. There's a
The
yeah, the
embalming tables
embalming
there.
table.
Yeah.
Because Nathaniel Elwell, he thinks he's going to sleep on it for a little bit, but I'm pushing him off and I'm getting on his nerves.
It's an
I
actual embalming table from
Yeah,
what do
yeah,
you call it? Yeah.
funeral home.
that'd be
Yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
I actually got to lay on it, and I had a REM pod between my legs. It actually went off, and it actually felt when I was laying on it, somebody was actually holding my head in place, like they were trying to work on me. It was pretty wild.
Oh, wow.
That would be a trip.
That would be. Yeah, I've not felt the need to get on the embalming table.
That kind of makes me wonder. I ask a lot of people this question
Mhm.
when you have an experience like that. Have you had an old crap moment where you really second thought about what we do, where you just kind of just stunned you?
Mm, I would say maybe it was the first investigation I ever went on, and I seen a shaman take away an attachment from a child. That was actually very interesting. And for the first night, it was like, whoa, this is actually neat. I want to be able to learn stuff like this as well.
Hmm.
And it was cool on how he did it because he did it. How do I say the natural way instead of trying to be forceful about it? He gave him options and let him do it on his own.
Wow.
And they actually had a recording of it when it happened, and you can hear an EVP say, "I'm sorry," and when he left.
Okay.
So that was pretty interesting as well. And
Yeah.
actually, he's one of my mentors now, and I go take classes with him once a month doing shaman stuff. And I've been doing that for a little over almost a year and a half now. So
Okay.
yeah.
Very cool.
Cool.
How about you,
For
Gwen?
me, well, I'll tell you, I used to be a paramedic, so I'm kind of an adrenaline junkie. So
Yeah.
when aha stuff happens to me, it makes me want to do it more. So I'm kind of opposite. Now I have had a couple of moments where I was like, because I when I get that feeling that it's just bad, I either have people with me and we deal with it, or we come back later and deal with it if we don't have the right, I guess, combination of folks. But I have had nothing that has made me just want to quit. So not yet, anyway. We'll see.
Yeah, I haven't had
Yeah.
anything that made me want to quit either.
Well,
I mean, I've had some oh crap moments, but not the
Mhm.
kind that make me want to quit. Yeah.
Right.
My first one, I was probably, and I didn't even realize that now I would call it a paranormal investigation.
Mhm.
There was an abandoned psychiatric hospital kind of in the middle of nowhere, huge building, two van loads of I don't know, 18 to 24-year-olds somewhere in there. Two people thought to bring a flashlight out of about 30 people. And so we were kind of moving in packs through this old decrepit building. And seeing the shackles on the walls in the basement, that was
Mm,
kind of what got me. That was like, okay. And through a broken staircase, like you can look right through where you shouldn't be able to look through.
right.
Mhm.
And that kind of got to me. And then we started hearing someone outside the building yelling to get us out of there and started shooting as we were running to the vans.
Wow.
Obviously shooting over our heads because in that pack he would have hit somebody if he was aiming at the group. So, shooting up. But that was kind of that was probably the most terrifying thing I've been through as far as going on. And I was hearing things and seeing things, and I could see the people kind of walking around in a zombie state because they were so drugged up and the spirits like that. So that was probably my biggest moment. Um, so,
Wow.
yeah, um, kind of a spiritual awakening for me because I'd never experienced anything quite like that. And I've been psychic my whole life. So that, I think, combination of people, location, being shot at,
Yeah.
that kind of all contributed. So,
Yeah. A lot of
And
different energy flowing around at
yeah,
the same time. And
yeah,
yeah.
I'm sure that would cause anxiety for some people and really get them to trip.
Yeah, and I had just recently before that watched for the first time One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. So I kind
Yeah.
of had that in my head as I'm walking through this place with people. Yeah. Before cell phones, before we all had a flashlight in our pocket, right? That was, God, when was that? Like 1987, maybe?
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it was a while ago.
So did you feel like
Yeah.
the heaviness of the dread and that kind of thing
Oh yeah.
and the sadness? Every
Mm-hmm.
time I've ever been near any kind of when I was a medic, I didn't tell many people at all
Mm-hmm.
what my deal was because oh, you're crazy, but everybody's
Yeah.
right.
had that, I'm sure. But
Yeah.
yeah, if I go into a psychiatric hospital to pick somebody up or to drop them off, it was heavy and
Yeah.
emotional and everything just balled in. And I would
Yeah.
just focus on what I was doing because if I didn't, I couldn't drown all of it out. So
Right,
that's
right. And
rough.
it's not an easy environment to focus in, whether
Mm-mm.
it's an up and running hospital or a decrepit old falling down hospital.
Right.
I've heard that the building is no longer up, so I don't know. I haven't been back, but
Wow.
yeah, that was enough for me. Didn't need to go back again.
No, it sounds interesting.
It was interesting, and now I would probably go back again, knowing what
Yeah.
I know this many years later.
Right.
Like, but as a teenager, that was a lot.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's tough.
I personally haven't had an old crap moment yet. I'm waiting for it. I'm hoping for it.
Hey,
When
we're going to
something,
give you one at the Rock Down then. We're going to grab you up.
so,
Yep.
you'd be surprised, you know. But as far as the psych wards and all that,
Mhm.
um, the old Green Bay Mental
Oh,
Hospital, I've been there twice,
oh,
over stupid shit, as we
Hmm.
do when we get depressed. And I remember the most calmest, relaxing spot in that entire hospital was the padded room. I actually, when I came in, I literally asked him, like, can you put me in a straight jacket in a padded room? I want to know what the experience is like. So I'm an
wow.
oddball. So they throw me
Wow.
in there. Half hour
Wow.
later, you ready to come out? No, I'm comfortable right now. Leave me alone. And they left me in there for a little while until they actually had to use the room.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, now you got to come out and go to your bedroom,
Right.
you
Right.
know. But that
Yeah.
was the most relaxing spot in that entire hospital that I was in.
Wow.
Really, that's wild, especially for people that's been in that location and probably tripping out because they're
Yeah,
in that square confinement, not being able to get out.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's different. Wasn't different energies in there that you were feeling as well.
yeah, no, it was just calm, relaxing. It was
Maybe
almost like
somebody smudged it.
that was where I was supposed to meditate.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that also could lead back to the fact that, darkness runs for me.
Hmm.
They don't stay in the same room in the same areas I'm at.
Right.
So that might be why.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Residual energy, though, I mean, you would think that there would be something left behind, but um, there are people who work in the mental health field who know enough to cleanse the energy.
Yeah,
So it could be somebody that cleansed the energy in the room in between patients.
yeah,
So,
very well
Very
possible.
true.
yeah.
Especially, even with the amount of natives we've had up in this area.
Hmm.
they'd take more natural to the cleansing of it than
That
your
makes more
average
sense.
person.
Yeah. Yeah, that
True.
does make sense. Yeah, the building I was referring to is the old Brown County Insane Asylum outside of De Pere.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't know. I know it's kind of up in Bob in Rez's neighborhood there, you know.
Yep.
So,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, that's trying to think. That was one that was right next to the old prison, right?
I think so.
That's the one I stayed in.
Okay.
Or
No,
no,
it
it
was
wouldn't
shut
be.
down in the 80s. He
No,
wouldn't have
I'm
been,
sorry. It
yeah.
would have been the newer version of
The
it.
newer version of it. Yeah. So I don't think that there was a prison
Hmm.
there. I know there was a caretaker next door who had a gun.
Yeah, I think there was a
So,
prison next door.
okay.
They brought me in at night, and when I left the next 3 nights later, it was dark.
Yeah.
Cousin picked me up, and I was like, "Just get me out of here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go home."
I get it. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. Very.
Yeah.
Well,
I think one of the other cool places like I've been to is the Aura Haunted House in Bartonville. It's where it was part of Zeller's mental ward and it had tuberculosis and everything there.
Okay.
And Bookbinder's grave is actually behind that building as well. And that is very interesting because they also have it open for a haunted house during the October season.
Okay.
okay,
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. We got a lot of EVPs out of that building as well when we were going through it.
I'll
nice.
bet. I'll bet. Yeah. I've been to it was the Trudeau Institute in Saranac Lake, New York, and they had a big TB hospital there and a research center and all of that. And boy, that community super haunted. It's now it's called the AMA, but it's not American Medical Association. It's I don't know, something to do with media. So I
Mm.
yeah, but yeah, that it was interesting to say the least. The underground tunnels and everything where they took out the bodies so the other patients wouldn't see it happen and
Oh, wow.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
They tore down the big building to the Aura where it was at. So it was only like part of the location still there. And like I said, even Bookbinder's grave was back behind it. So we went back there and there's some strange stuff that goes back there as well. It's like a drop off. It goes down into the hillside right there. And we got some weird green colored fluorescent cloud or mist going through there at one time. And we could never figure out what it was because we couldn't slide down there in the middle of the night to
Yeah.
define what it was, but it was kind of strange.
Right. Because, we're all good for being adventurous, but we draw the line at stupid, right?
Yeah, I mean, it had a good
Some of
drop and it
us.
was dark.
Some of us.
We didn't want anybody being getting hurt going down in there. But
Well,
yeah,
no, of course not. Yeah.
that was definitely an interesting night with that because, like I said, we had a green mist kind of going and everybody's seen it, and it's like, what is causing this? And we couldn't figure out what was causing it, and we were flashing our flashlights with the bright lights down in that area and nothing. But and even by Bookbinder's grave, we got EVPs and stuff. So that was kind of cool when we went there because, like I said, it's all connected to that Aura haunted house there in Bartonville.
Hmm. That's cool. It's amazing. I mean, if you're tuned in, you can find hauntings pretty much everywhere,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I've gone to restaurants and I can see people who are not in bodies having dinner in the next table. And, it's just, but I mean, I'm a psychic medium and I'm a visual psychic medium. So I tend to see things. And sometimes I see spirits as clearly as I see people. And it does make life
We
interesting.
we actually got to on my old team when I was with the old team. Me and my mentor, we were at Big Cats in Knoxville, Illinois, and we had an investigation there, and we were getting EVPs after the bar closed down. We were doing the investigating there, and we got some EVPs out of there. And then we got in one location of the building. It told us point blank that it didn't like me and Tammy. It came over the obulus and says, we just didn't like you. We wanted you to leave. So we had to leave the room just so it would actually talk to the rest of the people.
And that happens.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, it's crazy.
it happens. Yeah. So what's been your favorite place to investigate? or your favorite type of
Mm,
investigation?
I actually like residentials. I've done quite a few of them,
Me
more than
too.
I have locations.
Yeah.
Um, we've had some up in Manlius is really interesting because the whole town is on limestone and water. So you can feel the
Yeah.
energy all around there. And as soon
Oh,
as you
yeah.
step out of the car, it's like, whoa, hang on a second, get a breath, readjust, and then go do what you're doing. That's definitely an interesting place. Um, we actually teamed up with another team a while. It was been about 2 years ago now. Well, maybe a year ago, last January or so. We teamed up with another team, Parallax Paranormal, and there was a body in the house here in Galesburg, where I live in Galesburg, Illinois. They were called in after they found the body, and we went in there to investigate with them guys. And that was a very intense investigation because the energy in there was crazy. We found stuff in the attic related to Charles Manson, like pictures of newspaper clippings.
Wow.
And oh, what's the other guy's name? One of the serial killers from Chicago, Gacy, John Wayne Gacy. We
Killer
found
Clown.
we found pictures of him, and we found some things very inappropriate to talk about on a show that we had to go through and look. And we found one of the pictures that we were given to begin with. That child's picture was in that book,
Oh,
and we couldn't figure out why that kid we had that kid's picture, but it was in that book, and it was sad. And we think it was linked to that type of criminal stuff back in the 70s or maybe even in the early 60s. And yeah, it was bad. We even had luminol. We still found blood on the walls in some places there, and a lot of crazy energy that was going on there. And that was a 12-hour investigation, and that was probably the most intense one we've ever had or I've ever been on. So
yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. Rose, what's been your favorite thing to do lately? I mean,
Um,
thus far.
I like the residential ones because you're actually going in and helping someone.
Mm-hmm.
Not only are you helping the homeowners, but you're giving spirit a voice.
Yeah.
And either they're going to learn to live together, coincide in that property together, or you find a peaceful way to separate the two. And
Right.
I get the most joy and fulfillment from that. I love going to locations and investigating with friends and with the team, but the satisfaction comes from residential work.
I would agree. I get satisfaction from the residential too. Yeah.
mhm.
Helping people to understand
I,
what's happening in their home is really important. Sorry, Sean, I didn't mean to
I,
cut you off.
no, you're fine. Just right after I reformed the new team, which I am now, the Eternal X Wolfpack, and we had an older lady that was having some issues here where I live at, and the team came in and we checked out the place, and she was worried about us finding something evil there, and I was like, well, I can tell you this much: there's nothing evil here. And the things she described was like the cabinets would open, she'd feel tugs on her leg or on her pant leg, or somebody poking her in the back. And we actually got child's voices when we were doing it, and she's like, really? And I said, yeah. And I was sitting at the kitchen table talking with her when the team was back investigating the room with the voices in it. And she says, can I actually go back there? And I said, yeah. So she left her walker and I escorted her back there. And she goes, hello. And he goes, hi. And then it goes, old. And she goes, I'm not old. And they start, and you hear a giggle. And she sat back there when the rest of the team was asking questions. And she thought that was kind of interesting. And she's like in her late 80s. So I thought that was pretty cool. And we walked back to the kitchen. She goes, Shawn, what are you going to do with these spirits? I said, well, what would you like us to do with them? She said, well, they can stay if they're kids. And I said, well, okay. But I said, I'll recommend this. I said, read a book to them. Because I said, when they're tugging on your leg, They're wanting attention. They're
Hmm.
looking at you maybe like their grandmother. And I said, play music during that generation, during that time. And she says, well, I can do that. But she said, if I have any problems with those kids, you're going to be the first one I call. I said, okay. So I let it go for about 2 weeks, and I actually went and knocked on her door. And she goes, oh, hi. And I said, hi. And she goes, oh, I'm so glad that you stopped by and checked on me and stuff. And I said, yeah. I said, I told you I would. And she says, I was going to sell my house before you guys came here, and you gave me reason not to sell it. And I said, everything's been going fine since you've been here. And that is probably the best thing that ever could happen when you help people do that. And I thought
Yep.
that was
I
That's
agree
for
wonderful.
completely. Yeah.
for assembling a first time team, going in there and being able to help her and getting results and everything going fine. That was awesome.
Yeah, that is when it gives you a real feeling of accomplishment and also a real feeling of I'm doing something good here, you know.
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
most
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, I love that. I love the residentials. So Gwen, like what is your favorite kind of investigation or favorite place to investigate?
Oh wow. Honestly, I like cemeteries. I'm a cemetery junkie, I guess you would call it. I do, and there's several that are just kind of special. The first time I heard my name over a piece of equipment was at this certain cemetery right near my best friend's house, and we go there often, so that's nice. But there's several around. There's a Huguenot one. Um, and it's in McCormick County, South Carolina. I don't know if anybody knows about that. There's some other ones. Now I do like residential. I like helping people, but sometimes it takes a while to get, you know, because we always check it out first and, make sure
Hmm.
it's real and that kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
but there is a hotel here also called the Belmont Inn. It's in Abbeville, South Carolina. We've been there several times, and
Okay.
it's nice. It's very nice. Hopefully they'll open back up. Maybe you guys can come down and help us do that one day. That'd
That'd
be
be
cool.
That'd be
awesome.
fun.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I'm always willing to travel.
Oh, but I love going anywhere and doing just new things. I
Yeah.
love the new stuff,
Me
especially
too.
stuff. Yeah.
Stuff I haven't done yet, things I haven't seen
Yes.
yet. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is what
Yes.
my life is all about. I am all about seeing and experiencing and getting out
Hmm.
there and doing all kinds of fun stuff. One of the coolest pictures I ever got was at the Aiken Hotel in Aiken, South Carolina.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was I stayed there one night and the young lady behind the counter, the not circulation desk, the desk at the hotel. I
Hmm.
told her I was a paranormal investigator, and she just like got so excited, and she just, you gotta see this, and she took me into the bar area. There was nothing going on in there,
Oh,
like they didn't have any events. They had all the chairs up on the tables, and I could feel spirit everywhere. And I had my phone camera. That's all I had with me, and I was taking pictures. And when I went to take a picture, like all the spirits moved behind me. And I'm like, could you all please just step in front of the camera? Just let me get one good picture of you. And like 5 seconds later, they all stood in front of the camera and I took a picture, and you could just see all these spirits in this picture. Some of them look like orbs, some of them look like streaks of light, some of them
Mhm.
look like, faint outlines of people, but there was a whole bunch of them.
That's
And
cool.
Cool.
they were just happy to play. It's happy someone was talking to them, so that was pretty cool.
Is it the
Yeah.
one? Is it the Commerce Hotel? The one they used to call Hotel Aiken?
Yes.
That's the one. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was looking it up to see because I was going to make sure I was thinking of the right one. I
Yeah.
think room I want to say 220 something is supposed to
Yeah.
have something, but I don't know. Which one did you stay in?
I actually stayed in the annex building. So I wasn't like in the main building. They have a separate kind of motel building. At
Hmm.
least they did 20 years ago or whenever, or 10 years ago when I was there. But yeah, I didn't get a room in the main building, but I was walking around that main building just feeling everything out. Like the annex building is kind of but that main building, there was so much stuff in it. It was so much activity, and I could still hear the horses and the carriages and the, I mean, like,
Yeah,
yeah, it just was pretty amazing. Aiken's a beautiful town,
it is.
and they have this beautiful arboretum type thing. I don't know
Hmm.
if you've ever walked around in there with all the what are those trees with the roots that come up out of the ground? What are
I can't
Hmm.
remember.
cypress? Is it
It's been
Cypress
cypress?
years.
trees.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, without with the moss hanging off of them, and
Hmm.
yeah, during the day it's beautiful. During at night, I'm sure it's creepy as all get out, but yeah, it's a beautiful town, and I just really enjoyed walking around. There's a lot of energy there.
Yeah. Well, this, all this is Civil War stuff. That's like
Yeah.
Abbeville that I was talking about.
Hmm.
There are so many places that we could go there, but a lot of them are privately owned.
Hmm.
Um, Around it, they have just walking on the square. I've seen things. Just a couple. There is this one couple that stays next to this light post, but they hide. And if certain people come by or bright lights, they don't like it. But if you're walking around and it's really peaceful and calm, like later in the night, you'll see them. They're right at the light post and they're just kind of talking. They look
Hanging
like they're
out.
talking. Yeah. And if you,
Lovers in the night.
yeah, pretty much. And it's very sweet. But I've seen them
Yeah.
a bunch of times just when I was around the circle for no reason. But I think that's pretty cool. Just walking around the square.
Yeah. Another really interesting town energy wise is Savannah.
Yep. Yep. We were
That
there recently. Yes.
oh that Center Square Park area, like you're walking on bones.
Yes.
It's,
Hmm.
yeah, you're walking on bones. It's crazy. I took my son there one time when he was in high school. He was living in Aiken, South Carolina with his dad at the time, so it was on spring break, and I took
Hmm.
him to Savannah. And we went on this ghost tour with Pat Burns, and he did such a good job. It's a walking tour,
Hmm.
and man, there's so much activity in that town.
Yes, it is.
So much. My son leaned against a window on one of the buildings, and you can see an arm around his middle, like somebody's hugging him from
Oh
behind.
wow.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
in that picture. And then he had somebody following him around in the square park. Uh,
Hmm.
it was apparently a slave who was following him around, like trying to get somebody's attention. And he's like, because he described him as a very large black man, very muscular. And he kept bugging like trying to talk to my son. My son's like, you know what? That guy over there with the white hair, he's the one with the recording equipment. Go talk to him. So Pat, Pat's running EVPs on his laptop, and then he stops, he plays it back, and all of a sudden you hear this really deep voice go, "I'm here," like clear as a bell. I I have trouble with
Cool.
with EVPs. They all sound like static to me, but this one did not. It was very clear. He almost dropped his laptop. It
Uh-oh.
was, yeah,
Wow.
it was pretty cool. But yeah,
Hmm.
kind of psychic sort of runs in my family, I guess.
Okay. Did you guys go to the Sorrel Weed House? You heard of that
Prob
one?
I don't know. We walked around outside
Oh, okay. Yeah.
looking into businesses, and you could
Hmm.
see people moving around inside of businesses, and
Yeah.
yeah,
I got you. We just toured.
yeah.
Well, toured. We just did an investigation a few months ago at the it's called the Old Sorrel Weed House. It's a museum and tours and stuff. It does not have a bathroom, which drove me a little insane. But uh,
Wait, what public museum without a bathroom?
well, no, it's not a museum. They
Okay,
rent it for different things, but we rented
okay,
it to investigate.
right.
And it was actually very cool. But yeah, we have some friends down there that are opening a or just opened a haunted museum. Chris
Nice.
Oh,
Susi and his wife. So if you ever get down there, check that out.
Okay.
That'll be cool. But yeah, I
Yeah,
love
that
it down
sounds
there.
cool.
I love it.
That's awesome. Yeah, Savannah's beautiful too.
Oh, it is.
Hmm. Yeah.
It is.
Another haunted town, St. Augustine in Florida.
I
Lot
have
of
not.
spirit in that town.
I have not been there since I was very little. But yeah,
Yeah.
everybody says so.
Yeah. Lot of spirit in that town. But then we have Wisconsin, like one of the most haunted states, serial killer states in the country.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of that because we've got the whole Ed Gein thing and
Mm-hmm.
Jeffrey Dahmer and was the other one. There's another famous one too. I can't remember who it is. Do you remember, Rez?
Not off the top of my head.
Yeah, I
Name the
don't.
two that I concentrate on.
Yeah.
But not only do you got that, but you have all the UFO sightings in the state, plus
hmm
all the cryptid creatures that have been spotted and
Yeah.
documented. So there's a lot of crap going on.
There's a lot going on in Wisconsin. Milwaukee is super thick with paranormal energy.
Is it?
Yeah, a lot of people died building that city. So, yeah,
Oh, well, true.
yeah.
Wow.
So
Sean,
there's
have
a
you
lot
been
going on
there?
there.
I've been to Milwaukee before. I've been to the town. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Up to Broadhead where it's at, and a couple other little towns we stopped and ate along the way. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep. I remember
Wisconsin has interesting energy.
a couple of years back, me and my wife had went to Brownsville to see a family member, and we decided just kind of randomly drive back roads when we left because we like to do
Mm-hmm.
that, you know. And we came across this one little town. I couldn't even tell you what the name is of it is. It had like two restaurants, a bar, and a church in it. That was it.
Hmm.
But the minute you come in across that town line, the whole energy just felt icky, and it changed the minute you crossed out of the town line, you know.
Interesting.
Hmm.
And it's just like sickening, icky, like you don't belong there. Like
Uh-oh.
pretty much just get out.
So I have a question for everybody. Have you ever had a time slip? Like you're somewhere and all of a sudden everybody
Yes.
else is from a different era?
Yes.
Oh, I want to
Hmm.
hear about it. Go ahead. Sean, Gwen, I don't care who goes
Sean, you
first.
go.
Actually, it was really weird. I was actually talking to Pam Harris and Lori Bragg and another lady on the phone, and I had it sitting in my car. And this was really strange. And I had them on video chat, and I remember pulling up to a stop sign after I left a certain location. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, after I pulled away from the stop sign, and I was still talking to those guys, next thing you know, I'm 2 miles down the road in the ditch. And it was going back and forth and zigzag. So there's no way I fell asleep. But the fact is, when I pulled away from that stop sign, I was already at the end of the road, and they were on the phone with me, and they said, what happened?" I said, "I'm sitting in the ditch." And they go, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm sitting in the ditch." No explanation whatsoever.
Wow.
Do you
And I
remember
was talking to
anything?
them the whole time. Nope. All I remember is pulling away from that stop sign, and I was talking to them because they said I was talking to them on the phone. I had them on video chat,
Mm-hmm.
sitting in the passenger seat the whole time. And when I pulled away from that stop sign, next thing you know, I was already at the next stop sign and in the ditch. Craziest thing I've ever happened to me.
Wow. So you hit some kind of wormhole or something.
Yeah, it was crazy where I'd really like to go back and investigate that area because it's actually down by the Mississippi River and it's down by
Okay.
some Indian ground as well.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I had to
Wow.
check that area out.
Yeah. Is
Well,
that
I
down by Prairie du Chien area or
Um, it's not far from what do you call it? Beardstown.
okay.
It's it's a little how do I say trailer park down around that area, maybe 3-4 miles from there,
Okay.
hmm.
down next to the river.
All right.
It's really crazy. But yeah, I was talking to, like I said, to Pam and Lori and another lady on the phone during a video chat. And next thing you know, gone.
Wow.
Craziest thing that ever happened.
That is crazy.
I'm glad
That
it was just a ditch and not even
Well,
worse.
yeah, and I mean
yeah.
it's crazy because it's 2 miles technically down the road, and it's got turns and curves and everything else. And I was already at the next stop sign.
Wow. Interesting. What do you got,
Mm-mm.
Gwen?
Mine's not that good. I've had several. I have a lot of little blips.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, Sean had a blip the same day I did, around the same
Okay.
time, and we were like, "Did something weird happen to you today?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it happened to you." And he's like, "Yeah." So I was like, "Uh." I guess the most memorable one for me. Well, I have two, and one's real short. Um, I pulled in my driveway, put the car in park, cut my car off. It's daylight. Next thing I know, it's dark. It's over an hour past that I found out, and the lights from a car are coming at me. And I was sitting in my driveway. I can't explain it. I did not have a seizure. I don't know. It was random, but I have been. I was in a small town, and I was actually sitting on a bench near a fountain, and all of a sudden, it was different. I heard a horse. I smelt like not what we smell nowadays, and I heard a horse. I looked up. There's a horse and buggy type thing going by, and I looked around. And as I did, it's the same town, but it's people walk in different clothes, and that was weird. But in a snap of a finger, I was back, and I was like, and everybody was looking at me like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, I don't even know. I don't
Yeah.
even know. When it happens, you're kind of like, did that just happen?
Yeah, it's like you just slipped into a different time frame or something.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Now, I
What
have
about,
little blips here and
yeah.
there, but those are the two that I remember the most.
Okay, what about you, Rez?
Well, actually, you know about mine 'cause I called you the night when I got home. I
Yeah,
was
but you can
coming,
tell them about it
Yes,
though.
tell
right.
us.
I was coming out of Menominee, Michigan. I was up there with the team. We had to do two investigations. One was filming for a documentary we were asked to do by the town of Menominee, and the other one was a private residential location. This location felt very dark, very just off, and basically we were explaining to them what they had to do to make it right. People were dabbling with things they shouldn't have been dabbling with. So I get out of Menominee, Michigan. I'm coming down Highway 41 South, and I remember looking over, seeing some little lake, and my team leader passes me. I'm tuned down the road, and the next thing I know, I'm on 141 heading back north towards Iron Mountain, 20 some miles of distance on a separate highway. I wake up, and the only reason I realized it is because the road went from 4 lanes down to two, and I go, wait a minute here.
Oh,
We don't go down to 2 lanes going to Green Bay.
No.
And I had no recollection up to that point. So I turned around, and as I'm coming back, I'm looking at different buildings on each side of the road. And as I pass them, then all of a sudden I have the memory of, oh, yeah, I passed that. I thought this when I passed it. But that whole 20-mile section was blanked out until I turned around.
Wow.
Yeah, interesting.
Got home and I called her. I'm like, you would not believe what just happened.
I think I was in New York at that time because I remember talking to you on the phone on the way back to Saranac Lake from
Yep.
Plattsburgh. So, yeah.
were you by yourself?
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah. We were in a group, everyone had drove up north by ourselves
Hmm.
and they kept going towards Green Bay and somehow I ended up heading back north.
Wow, I'd be curious to know if anybody saw you like turn around or just be gone.
Or take an exit or do
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah. I had to take the 141 exit, somehow.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
I've driven that route, I don't know how many times. I go up that way quite a bit, and it's like I can put myself on autopilot and make it home from there.
Maybe that's what happened. You put yourself on autopilot. Oh, we
And
have
I should
another
have made it
friend.
home still. Hey,
See how
We,
huge he is?
yeah, we have
yeah,
another friend. Hi.
That's
you are
Guardian.
guardian, you furry.
Hmm.
Yeah. You're
He's 88
beautiful.
and a half. He's 88 and a half pounds, Great Pyrenees.
Oh,
Wow.
Nice.
it's beautiful.
Yeah, he's gorgeous. Yeah.
2 more pounds and you'll be the same as Robbie over here.
And what is Robbie? What is he?
He purebred pit bull,
Mm.
blue nose, and he weighs about 90 pounds.
My babies are itty bitty. I think the biggest one is like a Boston Terrier and Chihuahua long haired mixed. And she's
Yeah,
probably 11, 12 pounds. And my little Chiweenie, he's about five.
Chewini.
yeah.
I love
Chiweenie,
it.
he is. He's itty bitty. And he's an old man now. So he's got the little white. He's cute.
Yeah, that's
But
Yeah.
yeah.
adorable.
I always said I couldn't have little dogs. I'm a big guy. I come stumbling through the house at night one of two things that happen. I step on it and I squish him, or I end up
Oh
kicking him and he goes into the wall. I can't risk
no.
that. I love
Yeah.
animals too much.
Yeah.
No.
Got to
Yeah.
be bigger than a football.
I'm the
Bigger.
oddball out here. I know no animals in my house.
None?
None.
Oh wow.
Nope.
I also
My
I have
cat
four
usually walks
cats.
around here. Yeah, one.
Uh,
Yeah.
I ended up all four of the wife's cats when I moved back home to the reservation.
Ah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, Rez,
four.
I have to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Is there anybody, I'm assuming that's a curtain or a
Mhm.
backdropper. Is there anybody alive that's back right there?
Not directly behind there. Behind there
Mhm.
is a wall of junk.
Okay.
And then on the other side, the main wall is family.
Okay. Because right where your hand was, I keep seeing a shape move. At first, I thought it was just somebody. So I'm
And
just
well,
curious.
one of two things it could be. Cats, coming in and out, moving the blanket.
Mhm.
Or my Aunt Morningstar did pass away in the house several years ago.
Oh, okay.
And she comes and goes.
Well, there's somebody walking around back there for sure. Yeah, I just
Yes.
saw him.
Did you? Thank you. I was like,
Yeah. I
yeah, I
just
did.
yeah, in the crack between the bookshelf and the
Yes, thank
blanket.
you. You
Yeah.
saw it too. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. It makes me feel better. I don't know why. I know what I see, but I guess I second guess myself a lot. But
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. I
So
saw it
somebody's
too.
watching us. Well, hello, whoever you are. Hello.
Could be Crystal moving around back there. I don't know.
Well, I think she's on the couch doing a class.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, she is hiding out back
She is
there.
hiding out
Is
back there.
that
Hi,
her?
Crystal.
Okay.
You got to come closer so you're not.
Oh, there you
Yeah,
go.
hey.
Now you're
Smearing.
clear.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hi.
this is my niece. She lives up here with us. Last time I checked, she was sitting on the couch doing a class, so wasn't
Okay.
expecting her to be hiding around back there.
We thought
Yes.
you were a ghost,
What I
Crystal.
Yeah.
mean.
They thought you were a ghost because they seen you move back and forth through the crack on there.
Oh,
Uh,
like how? Really?
no,
Nice.
no, there's just a little bit of a crack there that shows.
Yep.
Mostly here.
That's a very solid ghost. I'm just
Yep, it
saying.
is.
Yeah, yeah, yep, yep, yep. She is.
Very
She's very
solid.
solid.
I'm
Debunked.
solid.
Solid.
Debunked.
There
Yeah,
you
Yeah,
go.
debunked.
Debunked.
Exactly.
yeah. See, I thought we were gonna be rich. We could have had the money there, the money shot,
Yeah, the
Oh,
money
wow.
shot.
Maybe next time.
Mhm.
right?
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
maybe
already
next
know.
time.
As investigators, I live by a rule that we don't play with our toys in the house. What do you guys feel about that? Do you guys use any of your equipment at home or try any of your equipment when you get it at home, or do you go outside to do
Just my
I
pendulum.
I actually use
Okay.
my REM pod in the house.
it? Okay.
Yeah. hmm
Okay.
Because
Good.
I've got about six of them that run around in here that'll set it off.
Okay.
So
What about you, Gwen?
I when I'm on a show or like say Shawn and I are just chatting, getting things together for another show or whatever, I will turn my flashlight is like my favorite thing. And I do use necrophonic because necrophonic to me, the voices sound exactly like with my ears and nothing else, no equipment. I will use that if somebody's with me, but I don't do things alone. That's kind of how our group does. You always have to have a partner. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would, like I said, I will do with if I'm face to face on camera or something. I will do it. I did it for one of his guests a couple of weeks ago. She had never
Okay.
seen a flashlight interact with you, so I did
Hmm.
that. Besides
Okay.
that, I know they're here. They kind of leave me alone most of the time. They will turn the TV on in the middle of the night, which is kind of I'm like, cut it off. But
Right. Trying to
but
sleep.
yeah.
Leave me alone.
Mhm.
So now
Yeah.
we always turn it down to zero if it comes on. So but no, I normally don't make a practice of hunting in my house. So
Yeah, I know some guys
Same.
that do like spirit box sessions at home all the time for their shows, and it's like, what are you really inviting in? Are you sure you're getting what you're saying you think you are? So,
Yeah. I I don't run like the spirit box in my house. I use the pendulum, but I also use it for doing psychic readings, right? So,
Hmm.
you
Right.
know,
Mhm.
testing and
Well,
that's, but I don't run my spirit box in the house.
we
Which
are a
is,
tool.
yeah,
Hmm.
that's
That's the
true. I'm
thing.
my own
Yes.
tool and I know everybody who's here. I mean, if I had something really weird happen that I couldn't tune into, I would probably run the spirit box just to find out.
Right.
But yeah, I haven't had that experience. Uh-oh.
Well, hear that, Bart.
Yeah.
Yeah. My my daughter, my oldest daughter, came over to watch a pay per view one time up in what I call the game room in my house, and I have Hot Wheels cars on the walls with hooks,
Cool.
and we were sitting there watching the pay per view, and all of a sudden she says, "There's something in the closet," because there's a walk-in closet next to it, and I was like, "Yeah." I said, "Leave them alone; they'll be fine." And then all of a sudden, certain cars popped off the wall when she was sitting there, and it freaked her out. And she's like, "Dad, you got to do something." I said, "Just leave them be." I said, "It's a couple little kids. All they do is take off certain cars off the wall all the time, and I'll find them there once in a while all the time." And she's like, "There's something there," and she kept freaking out about it. But I finally got her to calm down, and but yeah, she's seen it firsthand when things were coming off the wall that's been hanging there for months for no
Right.
reason, just coming off the wall, and she
Yeah.
was kind of freaking out. And I was like, "Just leave them alone. They're little kids, and I leave a little ball up there for them to play with, and they don't cause any problems."
Yeah. Cool. I know there's somebody here. It could be either my son or my grandson's biological grandfather, but one of them messes with the TV when he's watching it, and they'll like change shows on him or they'll turn the volume up or down, and then he gets mad and then he yells at the TV and says, "It's broken." He's 4, but
Aw.
yeah. It,
It's Logan messing with him.
well, it's either Logan or his grandfather. One
Oh,
of the
it's
two.
Logan. I'm
It's
telling you,
probably Logan. Yeah.
all day long. He's messing with his little nephew.
Yeah.
You know.
Aw.
Yeah. It's really interesting how closely they're tied considering they only met a couple of times. And he was 2 when his uncle passed away. So, but like he'll wear like Logan's hat or I have a memorial necklace that he will pick up and put on and walk around with wearing. And so it's really interesting how he's very drawn to Logan's things. So I find
Interesting.
that, yeah, I find it interesting, but I also find it endearing.
It
So,
is. Has
yeah.
he ever said that he's because it runs in the family? Has he ever seen or have a imaginary friend or anything?
Um, if he has, he hasn't said so, but I
Mhm.
think he just interacts with them like they're here, you know?
Right.
Because, I
That's cool.
mean, like I said, it runs in the family. I'm
Hmm.
psychic. His dad is psychic. His mom is psychic too. So, you know, I mean, for him, it's just like it's normal, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he just like, okay, I'll fight my own battles. I'll just tell him, no, you don't have to do it for me. Yeah.
That's
So,
cool.
yeah, it is interesting though. They'll just mess with the TV just to annoy him. Or
Oh yeah.
if he's been in front of it too long, they'll turn it off or they'll, like I said, change channels or do something just to annoy him.
They're trying to tell him to go outside and play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we live in a condo complex. There's not a lot of place to play. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah.
Don't play with your
But
toys. Use your imagination. Quit
yeah,
rotting your brain with the TV.
yeah.
So
And he'll do that. He'll go in his room and play with his toys. But yeah, if he has he'll bring his train set out sometime in the living room and he's got it going. All of a sudden, you can just see somebody knock the engine off the track.
Train crash.
yeah.
Train
Has he
crash.
ever drawn any pictures?
Not yet. He's autistic and drawing really isn't his thing. So, yeah. Legos are his thing.
Oh, I like
Oh, that's
Legos too.
Yeah.
those are good.
Right?
Yeah.
Who
Legos are
Yep.
his
doesn't?
thing.
Who doesn't
Legos can
love
be
those?
fun.
Right? Who doesn't love Legos?
But
So,
they are so much better now than when we were little.
oh yeah.
But the
They,
but the worst
yeah.
part is they're more expensive now than what they used to be.
Oh yeah.
True.
Oh,
I
Mhm.
went look at some of them kits for my grandkids, and I said, "Ain't no freaking way."
it's like, yeah. Fortunately, I only have one grandkid, so I don't have to like make multiple purchases of these things. But yeah.
Don't speak too loudly there.
Uh, shh, don't say it.
This has been fun. I want to
Yes.
thank you guys so much for coming on here. And how can people get a hold of you if they were interested in like being on one of your shows or having you come investigate or whatever else it is that you do? So,
Shawn, you first.
You can find me on Facebook under Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal, and you can leave a message, and that'll go straight to my email for any investigations. And we also air the show when it comes on every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central
Mhm.
Standard Time. We have it there on the Facebook page and also YouTube, along with all the channels for all access television, network television as well.
excellent.
Mine's a little longer. Of course, you
It's
can
all good.
always, yeah, you can always get me. It's Gwen Johns. You'll see this face.
Hmm.
Um, and that's my Facebook page. That is the best way. But we have All Access Network on Facebook. We also have the YouTube. You can also get us, my CEO and bestie, Litriana Terry Brown, and also Litriana Brown is on there. That is also on YouTube. Um, or any of our shows, any of the hosts there. If you get them, they'll get me. If you can't get me, and I think I'm forgetting something, Shawn. Of course, you can get Shawn; he'll get
Yeah.
me, or
Yeah,
you guys.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
And
we know
we,
how to
some
get a hold of
fun.
you.
oh yeah, and we
Yeah.
definitely are going to have to schedule you guys in. We're starting our new show tomorrow night, Paranormal
Absolutely. I am
Surge.
Yeah,
totally in.
Yeah, we
yep,
are. We will
totally.
definitely get you in. I have a few booked up. We're brand new, um, and you guys, it's been great. It's just like sitting around the living room chit chatting. So
Isn't it?
that's
I
the
love
Yeah,
it.
best.
Yeah. See,
that's
all we
the way
need
we
is a
like it.
fire pit and some lawn chairs. We're set.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, me
I'll have
too.
it done before the summer's over. We got to come up there here,
Okay.
out in the woods,
Okay, but you're gonna have to
fire
put me
pit.
up in a tent or something because
That's
it's a
fine.
long way.
That's fine. You can camp out as long as you want. I got 5 acres of land here,
All
and it's
right.
all
There
wooded.
you
Now you
Awesome.
live on the reservation?
Yep, on the Stockbridge Muncie Indian Reservation.
go. Wow,
I would
that's cool.
love to. I would love to see that. Just even
Yeah.
just a little bit of it. That would be awesome. So, well, hopefully we will see you guys. I know Shawn will at Paranormal Rockdown.
Yep.
Yep,
I'm trying.
Mhm.
I'm trying to get
Yeah.
there. Everybody that I've talked to is making it sound just too good to miss. So,
it's going to be a
Yeah.
good time. There's a
It
lot of good
is.
people going to be there. A
Mhm.
lot of good vendors, activities. It's going to be a
Yeah.
blast. I'll be
Uh,
camping out the whole weekend down there.
and I
well,
want to put a couple plugs in.
yes,
We
please.
have coming up in May, we have CAPS Paracon,
Yep,
and that is in Appleton, Wisconsin. And
Mhm.
I will be there. Rez will be at the door. You'll see his
yep.
beautiful face as soon as you go to walk in the door.
Mhm.
I will be there offering psychic readings for that event. Um, let's see, where else is there? Oh, there's Crypticon UK. I'll be there. I'll be in England for that on May
Cool.
31st.
Take me, take me.
Hey, no, no,
Mhm.
no, no, no. I got the first.
Ah,
He keeps trying to get me to ship him there in a big box.
Yeah, I keep telling her all I need is sun dropping beef jerky. Put me in a box with my pillow, and I'll meet you there.
He's 6'4". Like, where am I gonna
Six
find a
foot,
box?
6 foot.
6 foot.
I'm shorter, Riz, so I would be easier to ship. See, so.
Yeah, but I'm more fun,
Let's see.
especially you get
Then
me
we
out in the
have
country. Watch out.
then we have the Paranormal Rockdown. I will be there
Yep,
and speaking at that. And this, let's see, in September, Labor Day weekend, I will be in Maine at the Maine Horror Con and Paracon. And I will be
Cool.
speaking there and doing readings there as well. That's in Augusta, Maine. And yeah, that's at the Civic Center there. Like it's a huge production. Oh my gosh, it's huge. So putting in a plug for those places that I know I'm going to be, and I know I'm missing some, but I'm usually somewhere every weekend, so
Yeah.
yep. This weekend, even though the show will air after, I will be at the Penn, Ohio um, Paracon and Bigfoot Festival. So
Nice.
yeah,
Very
Sounds cool.
Um,
cool.
I do gotta say, for those that want to come out to CapCon, get your tickets in advance. Our Bigfoot hike and celebrity dinner on Friday night is sold out.
yeah.
We only have a few spots left for Sunday's paranormal investigation with Bean Snappers, Gainer's Tavern. So, and with the amount of interest that people have shown online about talking about going, you wait till the day of the event,
You
I
might
might
not
have to
get in.
turn you. I might have to turn you away out the door. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
So go online, get them. It's even $10 cheaper, I think.
to go
Pre-sale
online.
'em.
And if you can't get in, they're also live streaming
Yes.
the
Oh, okay.
speakers, I believe. They're live
Oh,
streaming
that's
the
cool.
speakers. Yeah.
So
So
That's
that is
cool.
an option, but
yeah.
let's be real. There's nothing like being there in person at a con.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's cool to
Exactly.
see it on TV and all that, but the true experience, you have to immerse yourself in.
You do.
Yeah. So but yeah, we got a bunch of stuff coming on. Sean, I'll be looking forward to seeing you again this summer. And hopefully,
Mhm.
Gwen, you can make it up. That would be fun.
Doing my best.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Well, make me come
definitely
down and
so.
kidnap you.
Yeah, well, just I've had, you know what? Everybody we talked to, they're like, "We're coming to get you. Get on the plane. Get." Now,
We'll get
Well,
that
pass
would
the
be my.
hat for gas money, and I'll go.
I will actually be visiting her May 3rd, so I'll be going down to South Carolina
Awesome.
there. So
Yeah.
Nice. I'll be in Escanaba May 3rd.
Me too. I'll be in Escanaba May 3rd, Escanaba, Michigan, in the Upper Peninsula, the part
Yeah.
that's attached to Wisconsin, not Michigan. Yeah.
All right. The Yulpers.
The
Yeah.
Yoopers.
Well, let me plug out something for you too. The
Yeah.
Connecticut Paracon. We were talking Thomas Patrick Gormley and his partner in crime or in Paracons, Charles, are they're putting it on. They just put out the flyer today. Go check that out. That's on my page. We'll be there the weekend of July 11th and 12th, which is the weekend before the lockdown. Um, so I will be up north in the wild
I'm thinking
wilderness.
about doing the one in Connecticut. I'm doing the one in New Hampshire in July.
If you do, let
But
me know.
oh yeah.
Yes, let me know.
We will definitely connect if I do that.
Oh
It's
no,
just that
you two ain't allowed alone in bubble. No, 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 no,
ooh,
Ooh,
no.
that
that
could
should
be
be
some good
interesting.
stuff. Yeah. We
That's
could find some
trouble.
good trouble.
Oh,
Yeah. The thing
absolutely.
is, it's like there's the Connecticut and the New Hampshire, but Paranormal Rockdown is the weekend between the two.
Yes.
And so
Ooh,
it would be like driving out, coming back, driving out, coming back.
true.
And I'm not sure I'm willing to do that. So,
And Gettysburg sometime right around there too.
yeah, I don't remember when Gettysburg
I
is. I'm
think
not
Yeah, we
doing
were
that's
that
thinking
one.
about going to Gettysburg also,
Yeah.
but I do not know if that's going to happen. Hopefully, I want to go
Yeah.
really bad, but
I would love to go. I just financially it's not in the cards at the moment.
I got you there.
Unless
Yeah.
someone calls you and say, "Hey, just come hang out with us. We got your way. Come
Hmm.
do something. Help with the event.
Yeah.
I'll work it, whatever." But
I am way
Okay.
too visual to go to Gettysburg. I will see everything play out in front of me, and I just don't want to.
I
So,
wish I get little clips and I get
yeah.
knowledge.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm way too visual. I see it like a movie, and I'm not a fan of war movies. So, yeah, don't need to see that.
uh, I'm a fan of horror, so blood
How
and
about
guts don't bother
Salem?
me.
How about
I've
Salem? Have
been
you
to
guys done
Salem.
Salem?
I've been to Salem a few times. It's a little commercial for my taste,
Mm,
but I've only been to like the commercial part of it for the most
yeah.
part. Um, I've hear the wharf is different. I haven't been to the wharf,
Okay.
Mm.
so but should be
Good to know in
interesting.
case I go. I'll have to go down to the wharf if I get to go
Yeah,
there.
and don't go at Halloween.
Oh no,
No,
no.
you will not be able to move. Like too many people. Too many people.
Elbowing people, get out of my
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. Packed in like sardines. Um, Salem is interesting. It has some interesting varied energies. So it's worth doing.
Cool.
Yeah, it's worth doing. And on that note, guys, wow, we've been over an hour already. Can you believe
Mm.
that?
Ooh, doesn't
Ooh,
seem like it.
I
no,
know it went really fast.
Yeah.
But I want to thank you both, Sean and Gwen, for being here. And I would like to remind our listeners, viewers, if you haven't already, follow us by clicking the subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications so that you get notified when we put out a new episode. And we have been doing an episode every week, except for when we took a break over Christmas. We'll be taking another break at the end of May. When I'm out of the country, I'm not going to have time to get on and do a show.
Yeah.
Just not going to have time to do it. So I
I'll
will.
find someone else to hang out
Okay,
with while
you
you're
know what?
gone.
Yeah, yeah.
We, we
Get a
won't.
different
We'll
co-host.
keep. No, no, no. We'll keep Red Road on the back
Hey,
burner
we
while
will
you're
come and
gone.
hang out with you, Rez.
I'll
There
come
you
hang out
go.
with
Yeah,
you
there
guys
you
on
go.
your guys'
There
show.
There
you
you
go.
go. There
There
you
Your
you
go.
token native.
Hey,
How's
you
that?
are scheduled for our show, Raz.
I am
You are
actually.
scheduled for.
Hold on here. I got the book right here.
He's got the book.
Yeah, I'm old school. I write things down. Let's see here. When was that?
Hang
April,
on.
May.
And Sean's getting his book.
Yep.
Remember we scheduled it.
Uh, May
May 20.
25th.
Yep.
Cool.
So I got to make sure I'm not at any cons or anything else that weekend.
That weekend.
Yep.
Yep. I will already be in England.
Oh, jealous, jealous. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I
Me
have
too.
planned for this. Believe me, I have planned for this. This has been in the works for a while, so I'm very excited about it. But I want to thank you again for both being here. This has been a whole lot of fun.
Thank
And
you.
hi, and Robbie is coming in at the end again. Hi, Robbie.
Probably
You
say
can't
hi to
hear
everyone.
me.
Oh,
You
We're
have the
gonna
earbuds in, so Robbie can't hear us. But
no.
hi, Robbie.
oh,
Watch him
say
attack
hi.
the earbuds. Anyway, it's been great, and I know that we will be connecting again soon. So
Yes, thank
everybody
you.
have a great time, and we'll see you soon.
Have a good one, guys.